Welcome, kings and queens, to another episode of Unapologetic, your number one podcast. This is the show where kings and queens tell their legacies and on. So get ready for the gems to drop and pull up to the table because we're ready. Welcome back, everybody. This is your favorite host, Melly Mel, right here on Unapologetic, your number one podcast. I know it's been a little minute. I've been working. Y'all know I got to do some projects on the behind the scenes, man. But today I can say we have another big time stepper that's coming in. She looking all fancy. I love the hat. I love that hat. I love that hat. So this individual that we have today, man, even though y'all know my saying, I'm gonna let them tell it. She has done extremely magnificent work in the city since I've been following her, even the 3-in-1 seat, that was dope. That was dope. But I ain't gonna give out too much, but I have to give her flowers and a round of applause. And please welcome to the Unapologetic family, Mrs. Marria McIntosh. Yeah. That's why you got the hat on with the I got to get me one of those. I got to get me some hats, man. I'm getting to that age. I'm starting to like that brims and stuff. I ain't putting no feathers in. We ain't going that far back, but I like the hats. For real. So you always doing something with the youth, always and forever. And it's a beautiful thing. And for most of my life, I always was told that you guys are the future. That in the next generation before that and before that. So, and because of how the United States is right now,
absolutely,
the youth, from my conversations, in my opinion, doesn't feel like there is that support, that embrace of, okay, I understand you're not comfortable yet, but let me show you. But you are one of the few, should I say, and I don't want to say the few, but I gotta keep it real. You're one of the few that actually are out there on the streets talking to the youth, going to the schools, wherever they reside. You're trying to be right there, front face, and helping them, not understand how their world is, how it's turning out, and what they can do to, kind of make it better for themselves as they prolong and go along in life. And that's awesome, man. And I got to do it, y'all. I got to give her a round of applause for that, because that's a lot of work. If you're not into the business realm of organizations and trying to support our youth, that you have to have a strong mind, but even a stronger spirit.
Right.
So my question, I know that was a lot, but I had to break it down to y'all, man. I had to break it down. But my first question is, what made this spirit that have you out here in the streets doing what you're doing?
So yes.
I like how the glass.
So yes.
That was a perfect speech. That was cut too.
Yo, look. Okay, so from an organizational perspective, starting 3 years ago, it was like I say, like I like to say, it was a little brown fist in a commission room, talking about the issues, right?
Right.
But it was from a very community mindset, which is, we're very much so experts in our area of expertise, right? But we're not necessarily well versed when it comes to a lot of the back of the house stuff, right? So how does development work? How does the what's the intersectionality between community and municipality and development and all these different things? We come to the table, and oftentimes, because we've been so disenfranchised, we're always like they, right? Because we don't really know we don't always know who the days are, but then we also
Yeah.
fail to realize that we are the day, right? So when you add, so if we think of it like this, one I, me, I being a me, one I plus another I equals us, right?
Right.
Right. And so if we get enough us's together that's making moves, we become the days, right?
Ooh,
But
I like that.
yeah, you know,
Okay.
but sometimes we forget that we're a part of the days. We get to moving in our own lives and we're like, they should be, they should be, they should be. And you know what? Everybody plays a part, but we're a part of that day too.
Right.
So
Exactly.
when I had my little brown fist up, I had to think, okay, what we're saying as a community has validity. So like our community is being gentrified, right?
Yes.
Our community, the rents and different things are increasing, you know, but even outside of that, our sense of normalcy is changing.
Oh,
And
most
we have,
definitely.
yes, and so we have to figure out like, okay, if we do not fight for that normalcy, if we do not fight for our position, then who will? Because the days won't. Who's these days? Right?
Right.
We have to be a part of the process, but a part of the process, like I was saying the other day, is that we can't stay just with the little brown fist. You know, my daughter calls me Malcolm X Marria. She's so annoying, right? You know, so she's like, okay, Malcolm X Marria. I'm like, you know what? So that ended the phone
Wow,
there.
that's perfect, man. Dang.
That ended the phone call. But she
That's
you know, you
crazy.
can't just be Malcolm X Mario like all the time. Like you really have to figure out, okay, so how are you going to be a part of this? And how are you going to make sure
That's
that
right.
community is a part of it? Because collectively, we're the smartest people in the room, right? So
Right, right,
like
right.
starting to work at that meant that we as an organization, we have to evolve. And so, you know, we
Okay.
built ourselves again, like when you talked about 301C, we started literally as three neighborhoods, one community. And then as we got into it and we start really researching the root cause of gentrification, we said we can't just limit this to three neighborhoods. This
Right.
affects right.
I
This
get
affects
it.
all of the Black and Brown majority communities.
Right.
So we had to identify what that was for Muskegon County. So for Muskegon County, that's about 8 neighborhoods in the city of Muskegon,
Yep. Yep.
and the full city of Muskegon Heights. And so when we expanded that geographical footprint, then that meant that we had to change our names, you know, because our name meant initially,
Reflect.
right.
Right. Okay. That
So
makes
then we
sense.
said, okay, now we're Thredz. How do we work together? Because Black and Brown don't stop with Keaton Street or the railroad tracks, right? You know,
Right.
so so
For real.
how do we bridge these threads together? And
Right.
I'm a person like, you know, you compliment me on my head, but I'm a type of person that really believes that you may not believe in the tapestry of what I have going on. So
Right.
this might not be your style, right? But we
Right.
all can recognize that the thread that it took to make this, or the thread that it took to make your shirt, those basic threads of humanity, everybody should be able to agree on. So
Mm.
housing, education, you know, health, community,
This
all
is
those basic threads
crazy.
we should be able to agree on. Now, when you get a little bit more elaborate, you know, I like it like this, you like it like that. Now we talking tapestry, right? But
Right,
no, we
right.
we we talking about the threads of life, right? And so that's why we expanded in namesake and in mission to make sure that we're encompassing everything. And then fast forwarding, as we're walking through this process, we want to make sure that we're creating and working with not only the community members that's ready to do the work today, right? So when we're working with community at community events, or we're holding town halls and things like that, those are the community members that are ready to be activated right now. Those are the adults that are ready to be activated in the community right now. But what do we do about the people that we're preparing for the next level generation, right?
Right.
And so, I'm sorry, the next level of leadership.
Right.
And so when we think back, you know, when I think back, I think about Brother Rowan. And anybody who know, we got Rowan Pack named after.
Right.
Anybody knew Brother Rowan, baby? If you ain't know nothing about Black history,
He
honey,
gonna let you know everything. I'm talking about
everything,
dates.
And
He
he
was
was always like
impeccable.
the happiest man ever. But you know what?
Yeah.
He was one of the people that like really poured into me to understand like your blackness is okay. Before black excellence was a thing, he was like,
Right.
you matter, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it's all those little those people that's pouring into your ear, the Gloria White Gardners, the Sidnors, the Rays, all these different people that growing up, you know, you don't, all you know is as a kid is somebody else telling you what to do. Like, not one
That's
more adult.
most of the yeah.
Not one more adult telling me what to do. You
Right.
know,
And I know
but
not to talk back. That's it. You know what I mean?
at least you get, you know, and so
uh,
but that was really important. That really is the fundamental basis of community.
right.
So how can I sit here today
Mhm.
and say and look at where God and also community has taken not only me as an individual, we as an organization, but more intimately, my own daughter, right? So I can look and I say, oh my, look at my daughter. She's doing this, she's doing that. I didn't do all that.
And you
It
know
was a
what's
community.
crazy? You brought up a good point earlier. We was talking about at the barbershop how we need as a community, we don't mesh together well. Like as far as ideas, because shout out to Classic Cuts, you know, Mal, my brother Mal, man, he come up with some great points because it's almost like you're talking from the past, but I'm in the future already.
Right.
It's crazy, but his whole point was that if we're unable to come together on the main points of community, how can we sit there and constantly ask others to vouch for us? I said, man, I ain't really think about that. Even, and I tell my kids that, you know, before you present yourself, make sure you know what you're talking about when you go in certain rooms. You know, and that's something that I try to instill into all my kids because you know we all business and entrepreneurs, so
Mm-hmm.
we pass it down to our next generation.
True.
So it stuck with me yesterday. Then you hit it again, just in your version. That's crazy, man. Because we all have that same type of energy that we want what's best for us in the community. But what is that wall that's there though? Who can identify it?
Right.
Is it self? Is it ego? Is it, you know what I mean? It could be a multitude of things.
Right. You know, but I think sometimes we're always focused on the enemy, but
Mm.
really we need to focus on the inner me, right?
Oh,
You
I
know,
write that
now,
down,
shout out to
man.
Bishop Jakes on that one. I can't join that, baby. You know, but seriously, like
Right.
you need to like seriously, we focus on the enemy, like, and they don't really be enemies, right? But we like
Oh,
demonize
yeah.
things in our head, and we're focusing on this external thing when
Right.
really it's internal, right? We've built up these mental subcultures that says that I ain't good enough, and it plays on repeat and lives rent
Man.
free in our heads, right?
Yeah.
And then we, unbeknownst to ourselves, we're perpetuating that in our kids. And it's not that we mean to always, it's
Right.
because I'm scared.
Yeah. It's a
Nobody else has
defense.
done that. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know anybody else who owns their home. I don't know anybody else. You know, if my kids go out this far, you know, I can't save them. And sometimes, you know, sometimes we got to stand on what we've already taught them and then allow them enough leash to
Yep.
go
Go ahead.
so that when they mess up, we can still have our hands on them. If we waiting until they become adults to give them some lead time,
It's over.
it's over.
They got
It's
all the
over.
time they want to have.
It's over. You know,
That is, yeah, that's a good point.
and so as a community, we all gotta pick our part. And if you really want to think about it, Mel, ain't nobody just sit down with you all the time and just be like, you know, let's walk through XYZ. It's the
No.
people that touched you here and touched you
Yeah.
there, and they kept on walking, you know,
Yeah.
but they,
Yeah.
hey, don't do that. Hey,
Right. They
You
give you
shouldn't be
some
doing this.
warnings before you hit that door. Yeah,
Yes, but
yeah,
then also they were the person say, "Oh, did you hear about that scholarship?" and kept on walking. Did
yep,
you hear about this opportunity? And kept on walking. And then sometimes they'll be a part of the programming, and we'll be a part of it, But they went home, and we went home, But it was all these people doing something
mm,
within, playing their part, living their lives, but
right,
pouring into us bit by bit. And so with us, um we just decided that if we're going to be a part of community, yes, we have the pathways. We're building out our pathways to home ownership program. Yes, we're building out we're looking to build out affordable housing and single family housing for people,
wow,
and put that yes, we're looking to, host events that bring educational awareness, but fun, and some of the tools that people need to get to the next level. But then it's like, okay, as you're moving, who are you bringing along with you?
right. Oh,
Who are you bringing along with you?